Hey, this is Tickle. In this video, we're going to go over my playthrough of the Mage Tower for Elemental Shaman. I got it done in 3 attempts without really prepping trinkets or anything other than my spec, but we'll go ahead and jump into it to give you kind of the walkthrough of what I did and how I did it in 3 tries without really min-maxing too much. I think Ellie is one of the easier Mage Towers I've done so far. I'm actually very surprised that I'm even saying that because back in Legion, I actually struggled a bit. Mage Tower is only out until, I believe, January 3rd. It is a lot of fun. If you haven't tried it out, you should definitely check it out on at least your main spec and then try some alts because that is very challenging. But let's go ahead and get into the spec. Back here, you'll see that I go ahead and I set myself up. Number one thing that you want to be going for in stat priority is haste crit. From there, you can go to verse, and mastery is absolutely last. The reason I say haste is because when you go into the Mage Tower, your item level goes down to 50 and you have terrible casting speed. It actually is a really big bummer. And with if you have slow casting speed, you have to stand still often, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, this is the build that I went. Earth Shield is absolutely critical. You have to keep it up basically 100% of the time. It's almost the most important thing that you should do to make sure that you do not fall behind. Using Ice Fury is also a huge, huge thing because you want to be able to be moving and using those Frost Shocks and dumping that out. As well as Aftershock. Aftershock is so good, particularly for earthquaking when you need to use it most. Now, gear-wise, again, haste, crit, verse, mastery, but really, you want to maximize that haste. I recommend using trinkets that give you haste. Using trinkets from previous expansions, as long as their item level is 50, is also huge. There's also a lot of resources out there about other trinkets that do additional damage that might even be lower item level. On hit dots are like on hit. Applying a dot to the target are also very good trinkets, but I recommend going the haste ones. It'll make you feel a lot smoother. Now, the Elemental Shaman Challenge, as we get into the playthrough here, I'll show you my approach. There's really only a few things that you need to be on the lookout for when you're going through this. Number one, when you start the fight, you go through a long kind of prep phase, and now what you want to do is you want to focus on the number one thing, and I think people will not really think of this. The number one thing to do in the Ellie Mage Tower, and probably Agatha in general, is kill these smoldering imps. You might think, they're just little imps. Look how small they are. They die so fast. Those are the only thing in this place that will really kick the crap out of you. Okay, you're not an enhanced, you're not a ret paladin, you're not hybrids where you can instantly heal. These ones will chunk you down. You need to be careful. So what I recommend doing is not saving Stormkeeper, but trying to line up Stormkeeper and at least trying to line up max Maelstrom or at least 60 for whenever those imps spawn. You might say, Tickle, I can't use my Stormkeeper on Chain Lightning. That's not going to do as much damage to the boss. I got to kill the boss. No, you need to not die. This fight, there's no enrage effect that I really felt at all. All you need to be doing is making sure that you're doing as much damage to the adds in this as possible as your number one priority. That's the number one thing I think people mess up, is they focus on, okay, I gotta kill the boss, gotta maximize my damage cooldowns for the boss. Actually, no, that's a bait. How you win this is you get the adds to a minimum, and then you can focus on the boss. When these imps are out, their fireballs are the only thing that will really kill you in this fight. Otherwise, your Earth Shield is going to keep you up, as well as using Healing Stream Totem. Now, what I do here positionally is after I open with pretty much all my cooldowns, Stormkeeper, Fire Ally, all that stuff, I will position on the edge of the room. That's because the imps that come out, that when they walk up to you, they will use a cast that will basically put a pile of poop on the floor. You want to make sure that you line those up along the side of the room. If you always are on the sides of the room in phase 2 and then later in the fight, it's so much easier for you. Now, you can use Thunderstorm if they're not in the right place to knock them away, but they'll still run up to you once again, and pop. These are also not worth DPSing. You don't really need to do that. You just need to let them explode for themselves on the edge. If you have extra globals or extra like Ice Fury, Frost Shocks, then you can, but in general not. Now the big mechanic here that people also mess up on is, or have trouble with, is these 2 imp servants will spawn every so often, and they'll come out. And now my approach to killing them is very simple. I will focus on one to kill, the other one I will interrupt. And I'll also use Earthbind Totem to slow them both as soon as they spawn. Here's an example of the Fuming Imp. It runs at me. I'm on the edge though, and I just let it pop by itself. I will throw like extra Frost Shocks or Flame Shocks on it for more procs, but in general, not too big of a deal. Now here, again, I'll interrupt one and I'll kill the other for the Imp Servants. That's what you want to do. Slow them, interrupt one, kill the other immediately with Stormkeeper or just Maelstrom, and then you just kind of go back to work. And you have it's very scripted on what you're supposed to do. It's just every time. Now here you'll see me, I need to maximize my Maelstrom. This is the other tip that I have for you. Do not get excited and just dump all of your Maelstrom into the boss. Like, look, I'm gonna at 63, I could Earthshock, but I'm not going to, because I know there's a mechanic coming up that I'm gonna need Maelstrom for. Look, all right, there's the shield. I'm gonna get the shield down by probably Earthshocking once, or maybe I won't. Okay, Earthshocked once, interrupted the boss. That's the other effect that will happen. The boss will get a shield. That shield, you need to get the shield down and interrupt them. It's not the biggest deal, but it definitely is something you need to do. Now here, I killed that one. I'll go to the next. I can interrupt it. So kill one, interrupt the other. Now we're back. Now there's those Umbral Imps. I hate them, and that's what we're scared of most. Look, the Imp Servant's still there. I don't care. I'm dropping an Earthquake under the boss because that's how you take care of business with those imps. What I usually try to do, max my Maelstrom above 60 so that I can get a Earthquake down. Now you can see my health is starting to dip. And again, it's those stupid imps under. The Umbral, the Smoldering, super annoying. So make sure you kill those imps under the boss. Big priority. Now there, I pop him really quick. Now I'm back to the boss. Now again, there's the shield. We're getting it going. The shield's not really that big of a deal. Here I set him as my focus. I go to kill the other one. Okay, I'm not going to interrupt him. I'm going to kill him. So I kill him. I'm going to flame shock him, interrupt him, and now run back. Now I'm trying to line these up on the edge again, but I'm just kind of keeping it going. Now here again, I'm not panicking. I actually take longer than I probably need to, but I'm trying to keep it calm. Now here again, I'm just doing damage to the boss. I'm not going to use my Earth Shock because I know, hey, those imps are going to spawn underneath her pretty soon. There it is. I'm going to Earthquake immediately. Earthquaking. And I know that, okay, hey, look, she's not even taking damage. I need to kill all those ads. Chain Lightning is huge here. Now, this imp is kind of being annoying. Wasn't where I wanted it to die, so I just Thunderstorm. Thunderstorm was not to knock it back. It's actually to reposition it so it doesn't pop. Otherwise, this is phase 2. Phase 2, she starts teleporting from either side of the room. Again, there's the imps. I'm going to kill that one, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to interrupt the other one. Or I'm just going to kill and then interrupt. Okay, and then we're going to pop it. The shield is up there. I'm not really too worried. Of course, you can see the stacking buff, but I'm not really too concerned, to be honest. Now, again, I'm even keeping the Imp Servant up a little bit longer than I probably should. Can pop them with a quick Frost Shock. They don't take, doesn't take too much damage to kill them. And then I just go back to DPSing. Now, again, I could Earthshock, but I don't want to. I know those imps are going to spawn underneath her again. And I need to make sure that I have Maelstrom. Sometimes I'll gamble it because of Aftershock. I put down healing. I'm not panicking, right? I'm just kind of keeping it going. There it is. Earthquake is down. Chain Lightning out to make sure that I'm killing those imps. I Thunderstormed that Fuming Imp over because he was being annoying. Unfortunate. I'm going to slow these imps, and I'm going to go ahead and kill this one. You see, I'm trying to set target. You can also use your Stun Totem. Your Stun Totem will help you with stunning or interrupting both of them. Now there, again, you can see I interrupted one, killed the other. There we go. This Imp Servant, doesn't really channel correctly, so it's kind of weird. I'm going to Flame Shock, and I'm just going to start popping. I pop the shield. I get the shear. Now, one thing I didn't mention in terms of consumable, I think the #1 most important thing you do have is get healing potions. Healing potions are huge. Definitely use those. The other thing you should be using is Earth Ellie when you start to get a little bit scared, right? If you ever are overwhelmed with the imps under the boss, right? Like here, I'm pulling my Maelstrom. Look, I'm even standing in the fire. It doesn't do that much damage. Here, I slow the imps. I set one to my focus target so I can interrupt it. I'm going to kill the other one. Earth Shocking him. Now here, I was a little bit bummed to see that I used my Maelstrom, but it's all right. I'm starting to panic a little bit, but I get the Earthquake out here soon anyway. I get the interrupt. Another Earthquake, even though most are dead. If you get hit by those, you do take some damage, but it's not the end of the world. Again, this is attrition. This is not a DPS race. Honestly, technically it is a little bit because you'll eventually run out of room, but it's not really too big of a deal. As long as you started, very far back, you'll be fine. Now here, again, she's getting down low, 20%. I'm getting excited, but I'm not losing my mind. I need to make sure that I'm Earth Shield has got to be reapplied and all that stuff. But again, here, I'm not worrying about the boss. I'm going to kill this one. And I'm going to interrupt that one. Or I killed that one. I killed them both, actually. So if you slow them, it does help quite a bit. Now here I was like, oh, I'll just kill the boss. No, actually, I need to blast. So that's about it. Like the Ellie one, I actually think I've done a bunch of them now for different classes. It has honestly not been, this was the easiest one by far the easiest shaman one as well. If you're trying to just get shaman done, this one was by far the easiest. And again, as long as you focus on the ads first, you don't worry about the fuming too much unless they're in a terrible position like that. And then you just interrupt the 2 ads that spawn and use earthquakes to kill the ones that are at the feet. Like here, slowing again. Now here I thought I could actually maybe kill the boss, but I was a little bit, got a little bit too excited. So you'll see me actually go through an extra phase because of that, I think. Or actually we just get it, I forget. So yeah, there I'm like, oh shit, I actually do have to kill these. Stun totem and just start blasting. I thought I could power through it, but it was kind of risky. Then the shield went, see? So like that's where I got a little bit excited. You don't want to get excited. You want to just do it right. And so here I was like, all right, I just need to focus up. I have heals. I need to just not die. I was getting a little excited, but it's okay. She's actually going to heal a little bit. Not the end of the world. We'll keep it going. Imp Servants, again, got to die. My health is at 40%, but I'm not really taking much damage, right? And you can see like, oh shit, I was in trouble because I did try to tunnel the boss down. If you ever try to tunnel the boss down, it's not going to work. So that's about it for this. You're going to see me, look how many ads are up. I'm like, oh shit, I got to get some earthquakes out. Earthquakes are one of the most important things you can prep. Because look, the boss's health actually has gone up, now 12%, you know, so just kind of making sure that this is all done. Now, the damage is not devastating. As you can see, I've gotten hit by a few things. Not the end of the world. I used Earth Ellie there when I was panicking a little bit, so now we're just trying to finish the job, right? And again, the boss has been sitting at 12% health for the past like 30 seconds, right? But it's not too big of a deal. I'm just trying to make sure that the fumings are being dropped, the puddles, and otherwise I'm just, you know, just pumping as much as I can. So again, like, this boss is still not dead. Those ads are out. Now, I learned my lesson, I hope, because those ads are back up. I don't know if I tunnel the boss here. Yeah, again, right? It gets a little nerve-wracking because all the different effects start to happen, but Chain Lightning kills a lot of them. I'm going to double Earthquake here because I realized, dude, I can't keep trying to fudge this one, right? So we keep going. The boss is at 5% health now. And we're not messing around anymore. We're going to keep DPSing the ads as necessary. So now I'm just blasting as much as possible, and that's pretty much GG on that one. So that's it. Again, I think this one is the easiest one. The biggest things, just to recap, is making sure you're playing on the edges of the room, making sure that you interrupt one ad, kill the other one for the pair that spawns, and then making sure that you have an earthquake ready to drop at the feet of the boss for those fireballing imps. So with that being said, that's it. That's my healing, by the way. Huge healing from Earthshield. Also healing stream totem. Very big deal. And then otherwise, the damage again is going to be everything that we talked about. I only used a healing potion once. Not that bad. I just had a flask, weapon oil, and haste food. So that's about it. So guys, with that being said, that was it for the video. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any tips for anybody, or if you think there's certain trinkets that are awesome, because I'm sure people could use them. So we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.